I can't help but wonder if that wouldn't classify as a PBN.
We are live, folks.
Okay, so this is what the thing does. You know how maybe you're right. You're probably right that it classifies it, but
the algorithm may not be. It may not fall into the same category, and I'm sure it doesn't. But
because
I think that they would. The two of them know enough about that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say I'm sure it doesn't.
I don't think they would do something like that because they've, spent too much time building what they have and trying to,
Oh, I agree. That's what I'm saying, though. I just wonder how it doesn't. Does that make sense?
Well,
that's what I'd like to know, and I'll have to ask Carson about it to find out how it doesn't.
Well, what I was going to say is, okay, so it's it's part of your gravatar. You have to have a gravatar set up, and all it is it's linking, let's say, hyperlinks to the comment box, right?
Right.
You don't have to type in that caption thing. It makes it easier for people to comment if people are lazy. So they've already stopped all that, so it automatically does the cache.
But a lot of the problems with those before was that you got a bunch of blue heads, that I would say to Google were suspicious, that they couldn't really see. I mean, a person could have done it. The same person could have done it under 10 different blue heads, So,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's a problem, and I've been told by some of the bigger, more power users at G+ to stay away from the blue heads because it'll hurt you. Because they haven't committed to being there, so they can really add anything to what you're doing.
If we could ask that if you're not talking, that would be helpful.
What's that? Okay.
If you're not talking, could you get feedback and
Is this thing on? Somebody's echoing. I had to pop out and in because I had some severe Cylon action going on.
It's not Nicholas this time.
I thought we had to be quiet.
Craig, you're muted.
Hey, Tony's back. Hey, Tony.
Greetings, sir.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Busy as all get out lately, but pretty good.
Yeah. So
I'm testing a very interesting concept right now that's panning out really well so far, and we're going to see how it ends up going here in about 3 weeks.
Very cool. I ended my current contract today, and so I'm gainfully unemployed.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. I ended at about 2:30 and went over to the Chamber of Commerce to ping them about shared office space. Seems like everything I'm finding is, hey, buy our building, and I don't really want to do that because I don't really want to do that. I don't want to spend $75.
Quite that commitment yet, huh?
Well, I don't know that for sure that I'm where I want to be, and yeah, I don't know. Buying a building. I mean, I walked into a place today, went over to the chamber and talked to them. Really nice lady hooked me up with some information that is not the information that I want, but may come close. And then I walked down and talked to a guy that's fixing to sell his music store, and it was amazing. I walked in, and he was just sitting there picking, and he finally acknowledged the fact that I was there, and I'm like, it's like, can I help you? And I was like, I just came to look at the building, and he just stood at, he looked at me kind of dumbfounded, And I hope that was the owner and not an employee, but there's a big sign on the front that says going out of business sale, so I don't think I caught anybody off guard. Well, I'm like, are there two stories to this, or it's like, nope, there's just one. And they want like 75 grand for the thing. Now it is downtown, but it's downtown Podunk, right? So for like 1,600 square feet, seems a little overpriced to me. Seems, I don't know. But there would be a good bit of room in there for me. And at 75 grand, I'd probably be pretty close, just a little bit over probably what I would be paying if I were renting a place. But that's a 30-year commitment, unless I can turn around and sell it, versus maybe a month-to-month arrangement, right? Or a 6-month. Or even a 12-month lease somewhere is a lot less than a 30-year mortgage on a building that I may not want to be in for 30 years.
Can you set him up on a lease to own, or can he set you up on a lease to own, and then if you break the lease, you're still free and clear?
I didn't even talk to him about it. Some customers came in, and he was talking to them, and I felt like, after I walked to the back and looked at the place, and I was underwhelmed, and so he was busy, and I left. But I'm going to find something.
He may not want to do it, but he's being forced into it, so.
Yeah. Well, that would explain the way that he responded to me, and I kind of wondered that myself.
What, is he trying to get rid of the building?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't really get a chance to talk to him about it.
Was it that building that we saw the last time we were online? We were looking at some.
No, there was. Let me find it here real quick. I'll show you.
Keep in mind we are live tonight, so.
I don't think anybody's going to swoop in and sweep it up from under me. And if they do, then that's awesome. Rip me a place.
We don't have any viewers at the current time.
You will, Craig.
Carve out 100 square feet and rent it to me. Come on. This is being slow.
Yeah, all you really need is a storefront, place to put your desk in to prove to people that you're doing business, right?
10 by 10 would be good, and the ability to put my, put some signage out that says, my business name. That would rock. I would be ecstatic. There is a large, very large building that used to be a bowling alley, but they want like $220,000 for that. So I'm probably definitely not doing that. But it's really big, right? So if a
you don't want to be a bowling alley owner?
No. But I mean, so the thought did go through my head though. Hey, if I'm looking for shared office space, maybe other people would like to have some shared office space. And so I can't remember how many square feet that was. It was quite large. It's a bowling alley, right? Yeah. So, but I would imagine.
Think of all the money you could make when you tear up the lanes and sell off the hardwood.
I was thinking about selling the hardware. Yeah, if I did that, but I don't know how much of that $220,000 I would get back. And I don't want to have to think about making that mortgage payment every month. That would make my resources dwindle very quickly.
Well, you could go out and buy yourself a planer and just scrape down those hardwood boards, and you could probably cover about a third of that anyway, just selling the wood.
You think?
Well, I'll bet you. Well, I kind of you're in Oklahoma, so maybe not.
Well, it's popular out there, Eddie. I mean, that kind of philosophy. There's a new one. It's called Hera Hub, and it's for women in business actually. And what they've done is they're franchising it across the country now, but it started out in San Diego, and they made it kind of like a spa atmosphere, and it's someplace where they can come and work or bring clients, and it has all the equipment, you know, if you wanted to do a presentation and all this kind of stuff, and you know, they do it on it's a monthly membership. You know, like for $99 a month, you have a space to go and work if you want, or to have meetings or whatever, you know.
Sure. And build a community.
Yeah, and there's a community, and they bring in specialized speakers every month, and they network together, and it's just real interesting what they're doing, and it took off so fast that now they've started, like I said, franchising them across the country. They just opened one up in Washington, D.C., and then they're moving back this way. I've been talking to them a little bit about doing one here, and I mean, it's just quite interesting.
There's that building. Pasted it in the chat. Yeah, that sounds like a really cool concept. There's, let's see.
Because I mean, a lot of people are kind of mobile. You know, they're out calling on people all day, so I mean, they don't always need a full space and can work from home. But it certainly is nice if you land a client and want to present a business face to it and be able to present with nice equipment and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it makes sense to do something like that.
Yeah, when I was in KC, I put another link up there. When I was in KC, we had those guys, and they've grown even more than they were, but they've got a little bit of everything. They've got a sound stage. You can just go do whatever there. They've got places for it. You can do, you know, large audience presentations. You can rent literally a desk space that's connected, and they take care of like the coffee pot and the girl answering the phone and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, this has all that.
Yeah. So.
Very nice.
Although I think you have to fill your own coffee pot at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pain for me.
Well, I just think it's going that way because of the cost of rent, you know, for someone to rent an office, and you know, you don't want to look like, if you're a freelancer, you know, you don't want to look like you're just poor as a church mouse and working out of your car or something like that. Particularly
what's wrong with that?
Now, if you want to drive up to Knoxville, I think we can set you up on some furniture.
Oh, a few pieces here and there, I'd imagine. Got lots of leather.
And an echo also.
I know you said, am I back on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back on, Angela. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you said you live in Podunk, but I know in the bigger cities they have hotels where you can rent out the little meeting halls and stuff. You don't have that there?
Well, what I'm really looking for is a place that I can go and work at and have exposure.
Oh, okay.
And ideally be area that there are a lot of other businesses around me that would want to give me money for doing stuff for them.
Angela,
Okay, I
you're
got
echoing really badly, so go ahead and mute when you're not talking.
It's killing me.
What?
You're producing feedback.
Who
Do
said?
you have a headset that you could use?
Please. The echo is like killing me, and then like, you know, Eddie's he's pausing through like what he's saying, and I just try. God, I can't stand hearing my voice here. I'm just gonna stop.
I'm not hearing the echo out here.
Yeah, I think it stopped. I'm not sure who it was.
it's coming from Angela, but it's not her fault. I mean, she's just got a feedback issue. She can try moving her speakers if they're not built into her computer, and if they are, then a headset's probably the best way to go if she has it.
Yeah. Wonder.
Most of the new laptop designs are actually putting the freaking speakers right beside of the microphone, which is just stupid.
Bad design.
Uh-huh.
Bad design.
Bad.
I had with somebody in Victoria, and her feedback was so bad that she got to hang on. It was just everybody. So was everybody completely bad by his geek tonight? Hello.
Echo.
What am I echoing? Oh my god, not me.
Yeah, I think it must have been Tony, because I just muted him. Sorry, Tony.
I was being a smart aleck. I said, echo.
Ah.
Yeah, but it wasn't great when I muted him.
But now I'm echoing. I'm echoing. We're all echoing.
It is me. Be right back.
Yeah, it was definitely Tony.
Sorry, Tony. Glad to see you. Just don't bring the echo with you.
Leave your echo in your room.
He'll be back. He's just going to rethink his audio arrangement, I expect.
So I do mainly, Angela, I've been sort of a corporate developer, and over the last several years I've turned that into doing it as contract work, but I do all sorts of stuff, mostly back-end stuff, but I can do the web design piece, and so I figured that in being around people, I could actually, I would probably wind up doing more web design in the beginning than anything else, but just get out there and let people know that I'm there, and grow that reputation. I had a really good rep when I was in Kansas City, to the point that if somebody was looking for stuff, they would call me, and I didn't interview. They were just, in fact, it was really weird because it got to where it felt like they were interviewing for me, which is nice. But now I'm in over here in Oklahoma, and my reputation is in Kansas City, and I'm at the beginning of it anyway. And I'm really kind of getting tired of doing. I love what I do, but I'm getting tired of doing it the way that I'm doing it. And so I figured, the only way I really change it is if people are coming to me, and then I'm the guy, right?
So what is it exactly that you do? I know you do the back end, and a lot of times what happens with people in business, I mean, they don't understand your business, and if they don't understand it, then they get lost in the weeds, And so you might have to simplify in some way for them to understand clearly what it is that you do, and more importantly, what most people want to know is what can you do for them,
right?
But in an understandable way.
Sure. And I feel like I do a pretty decent job of, even being a pretty technical guy, I do a pretty good job of bringing it down to things that people can understand. But
what
I mean,
do you do exactly? What
is a pen.
What exactly do you do for them?
And it writes.
So what I've predominantly been doing, Julie, is the stuff that actually interacts with databases and all the big logic in the end. So in the back end, So, in fact, a lot of the time, I would work with people who would be really specialized on doing the web design piece and making it look pretty, and so they would call stuff that I would write on the back to actually, go fetch the data from the database and give it to them to make look pretty, or take the values that somebody put in, send it to me, and save it on the back end. What the thing that I just did was we built a big promotion engine for a client to where they set up all these promotions, and then an order comes through, and they'll send that order to the back end, and the back end figures out which ones of the promotions apply, and sends that information back to the front end. And some of them are opt-in, and so you'd have to opt in. If you're just browsing around and there's an opt-in, then they would make the front end ask you to opt into it or not. But then when you actually hit checkout, then we would exclude anything that you haven't opted into, and come up with the best value for you for the stuff that you're buying. Pick the best promotions, because there's some of them combine, some of them don't, right? And so that logic on the back end that figures all that out is what I just did, and saving everything and all that. It was really fun. It was
so
really complicated.
You better if you connect up with like a really lucrative designer that might have need of those services for their clients.
I think if I can get an office in Pryor, there actually is a digital agency there. At least they build themselves as a digital agency. I don't know what that means to them, right? But yeah. I figured, right. And so I figured I would go over there and introduce myself and say, hey, you guys are doing all this really front end facing stuff, and I'm really good at this back end stuff. So if I tell you what, if you would like, if you have people coming in looking for hard hitting stuff, send them to me, and if I have people coming in looking for pretty stuff, I'll send them to you.
Recipe is right there, of course.
I thought about doing that, and I mean, it seems like I would probably feel it out in the conversation, and before I committed to something like that, I would want to hear them volunteer that they had a lot of people coming in looking for something like that, right?
Have you looked at their website and have a sense of what they say they do?
They have a really nice looking site, and they've got a location here, and they've got one in Houston, and it looks like a pretty professional thing. I believe that they probably do, typical ad agency work of putting together a website that looks really sharp. But maybe there's, maybe they have things that they would like to farm out, even on the web design piece of stuff. Sometimes, they just get so loaded down with client work, and people want it now.
That's true.
Yeah, you know how they get.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I used to have, I had a studio that, it was for TV and radio and all that stuff. And, I mean, I did a lot of work for agencies and manufacturers and all different kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I mean, sometimes it's better for them to farm it out. It was better for them to farm it out to somebody like me, than to try to bring it in-house or to get a full-blown agency or something like that,
Or at least a piece of it.
Yeah.
So,
if you could set yourself up as a go-to guy for an agency that has need of those particular services, and not necessarily be a full-time employee, but kind of just be available for contract work.
Right.
Because I mean, the thing is, what's big with agencies right now? I mean, they're outsourcing a lot of their work. you know, individual pieces of it.
Sure.
You know, they don't have the quantity of employees that they used to for that reason.
Yeah.
And, so
Well,
it might be a tremendous
as long as they control the
opportunity.
vision, as long as they actually control the vision, you know, and what you're giving them meets that vision, why not?
Yeah. No, I mean, you could build a business out of it, is what I'm saying. You could be one of those components. Sometimes, many times, these agencies, particularly, I mean, they build websites. They say they're building you a custom website, but they're not. They're using templates.
Right.
You know, I can go on the back end and see that.
Right.
And so, always peep around the corner. So, but I mean, you could legitimately do that for somebody.
Sure.
You know, if they were building a store or something that requires database access to inventory or parts or whatever, you know, services.
And I've got ideas for custom maps also that would be, I mean, just right up my ballpark of stuff that I've done for 20 years. You know, that sort of development. So I intend to do some of that, and you know, just try to. In fact, I figured a little bit of, you know, just helping local businesses become more visible on the web. You know, help them get profiles and stuff set up, which would be sort of an introductory thing between the two of us, right? And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Eddie, he got us. We got a lot of business out of that. Go talk to Eddie Bush."
Well, I'll tell you, one of the big areas is SEO.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people that tout it, but not that many people that are great at it. You know what I mean?
And the stuff that you know from WA is probably 9 times better than anything that's being taught out there.
Right.
I really I like David Amerland's approach very much.
I agree with that too.
What's the difference about his approach?
Well, he focuses on what he calls, you know, semantic search, and he's written a book on it. You can look it up on Amazon. What is it? I think it's called SEO Help. I've got it.
His method of search and keyword optimization as far as SEO is very good. It's a technique that I've been familiar with even before he talked about it, but it's the latent semantic indexing.
Oh,
right.
He wrote about it probably 8 years ago.
Yeah, he knows his stuff about it. He helped to really bring it into the mainstream.
And what he does, I mean, he's out of Europe, but I mean, he does this for very large worldwide corporations, and you know, really, probably one of the foremost knowledgeable people in that area, keeping up with the changes of Google and, you know, where they're headed. I mean, he seems to be in front of that and knowing it before they do, knowing what they're going to do before they do it or announce it, or you know, he just kind of suspects things down the road based on different elements that he sees. So it helps him stay in front of a lot of things, but he's quite brilliant.
Yeah, he is. And I mean, he's predicted a lot of the trends in market, a lot of the marketing trends before they ever happened.
Yeah.
Especially where SEO and keyword optimization are concerned.
And he's heavily into AI.
The rain's going ahead of me.
Yes, he's getting heavily involved in that.
Nicholas, are you multitasking?
Hmm?
Are you multitasking? I'm hearing a male voice in the background.
I'm hearing that too. It's weird. I don't know what it is.
You can hear that? That's impossible.
I heard it.
Really?
It's really, really faint.
Yeah.
Weird. How can you hear that? I'm using the headphones so I can listen to my video while I'm editing.
Are you playing it really, really loud?
No, not at all. Actually, you guys are louder than the video.
Well, you guys all have a wonderful night. I have to bail out.
Wait, one thing, Tony, I wanted to say to you is that You know how like you notice all these scammers and people repurposing the content that they find. I found one with the like losing body fat whatnot, and people using all these same images, and they changed the image by the color, made it black and white. Then there was another one that was faded and a little bit of green in there. It's like, God, stop doing that, people. You stupid.
Now, the one thing with if it was just a picture image, it might be a stock photo. That is one thing. What I had found was people literally copying the exact same screenshot captures. Same dates, same times, everything. And that would really cracked me up, that review that I did on that one product. Warrior Scams. That one made me laugh because, you know, the product was quote unquote brand new, but the screenshot was from over a year ago.
Right.
And the content was all stolen from another site.
Yeah, the content was literally the same exact content. So, but anyway, you folks have a great night. I've got a call I have to take, and I will catch you all later.
Be good.
See you, Tony.
Good seeing you. Huh.
Oh, either his brother calling from. He's got a customer.
So what was he talking about people copying?
Plagiarizing.
Oh, I can show you the account. Yeah, there was a guy that well, we're live, so I probably hear him.